Hi, and welcome to Unashamed by Grace. I'm here. It's a privilege to be on Christian Living Radio, as always. We're so thankful for allowing us to be on your show. And with us today, I have a special guest. This is Daniel Faust.
Hey, how you doing?
And he's an author located here in the Valley. And he has his first book that we want to preview today. And the name of it is Leave No Marriage Behind. Is that correct?
That is.
Okay.
That is correct.
And so we're thankful that you've been able to partner with us. His focus for writing this book, this marriage book, is to save marriages. And that's exactly what Unashamed by Grace, our ministry, is all about. And so we want to partner and help all across the country. We want to help couples stay married. And so that's exactly what your book is about, right?
Yes, that's what our book is about, and that's what our business is about, is at Learn and Live. We help out marriages, family. We go into faith, and we also help out businesses and leaders in communication. So we want to focus on all relationships, but marriage is a staple, relationship first.
That's definitely how we feel too. So we've actually, in our ministry, there's been several people that have come to us and said, you help save our marriage. And of course, with God's help, but, just the tools that we've given them. And so when I heard about your book, I was so excited and I wanted to have you here today. So I do have a couple questions for you. I hope you don't mind. I want to find out, get in here and dig and learn about your book. So what inspired you to write this book, Leave No Marriage Behind?
Basically, my parents went through a divorce roughly about 20 years ago, and I didn't understand it. And then my brother died a few years later, and I basically said, screw you to Jesus. And then years later, I actually came to Jesus, because I didn't have a faith. And then 5 years later, I got married. So I'm fast tracking real quick.
All kinds of things.
Long story short, that I went through trials and tribulations right when I first got married, deployments and other things. That's why you see me in the uniform still serving. And I didn't understand. I understood all the vertical principles, what we talk about in the gospel, in First Timothy and remembering all places, Ephesians and whatnot, First Peter. And then from there, I couldn't understand the horizontal principles in marriage. How to actually live that out. How does Christ love the church? I'm supposed to love my wife as the church.
Right.
So long story short, we learned the DISC model of behavior. It took a lot of years to say, hey, slow down. You got to have a plan. And we wanted to help out marriages. And the book came as just an overflow of that. And there's a lot of resources that teach one way or the other way, and we want to teach both ways and give all those resources to everybody.
Right. Well, that's awesome, because not a lot of couples, especially in your position, right, being in the military, you've been deployed 4 times?
Correct.
And so that alone takes a toll on a marriage. And I know you've said you had a death in the family, you had a new job, you've had so many things that have happened to you, but you still, in all that, your focus was still saving not just your marriage, but other marriages. So I think God really honors that, So tell me, who is your target audience that you really want to focus when you're promoting your book, Leave No Marriage Behind?
We averagely see most people, not much as men, but as women, from 25 to 55 average marriage, from pre-married to 10 years. It seems if you're younger, like me, I'm 35, turning 36, that people don't trust me right now. So we want to focus on people that would see us as a trusting resource. So we want to focus those 25 to 55, usually right pre-married, up to 10 years. After that, they might not trust us, so we give them other resources that people that are older and wiser in marriage. So we want to teach where we're at, not where we think we're going to be.
That's great. That's a great idea, because you're saying you want to have a number of years under your belt in your marriage, right? And people are going to look at that.
Yeah.
But really, if you believe and you have a passion about what you're doing, like just with our ministry, and people can see, you become an expert on it because you're passionate about it. And I know how passionate you are about marriages. We've talked even before the interview here, and I know your heart is to save marriages. And so what do you think? Just maybe tell me one thing out of the book that couples could really glean from learning. Give me one application, maybe, if you can.
I'm going to combine them into one. Actually, it's learning about your personality style outside the bedroom, which is chapter 2. And then also learning your personality style inside the bedroom under the sheets, chapter 9. Because if I don't understand you and you don't understand me, we're not going to have a better relationship. So I want you to understand that. And then actually inside the bedroom, because that communicates inside the bedroom. And if you understand inside the bedroom, then it's going to overflow outside the bedroom. And that's also going to affect kids. It's going to affect your work. It's going to affect your jobs and leadership, everything else. Because you bring your conflicts to work. You never take your conflicts at work home, typically. It doesn't go vice versa. So those are the 2 things I want people to grow in, is hey, if you understand yourself and others inside and outside the bedroom, then you're going to go over and thrive, because everything else becomes smooth sailing outside that. Not saying your marriage will be perfect with that, but it's a good start.
Right. So chapter 2 and chapter 9, those sound like they're really important. And, you're talking about basically their sexuality within a marriage. And that's exactly one of the things that, we teach with our ministry is because that's where couples have a huge problem, is if there is problems with the sexuality, there's problems with infidelity, addictions, which is what our marriage with our ministry takes care of. And so we provide resources and tools for couples and singles as well. But, if you write about it while people are still married and they may, not having the problems yet, you can help prevent that. Whereas we get couples like on the back end where the problems have already developed. So I appreciate that you're giving them that, arming them with that information to help them while they're still married and while things are going good. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it consolidates the sources. There's 46,000 books roughly on marriage I found on Amazon the other day, and I'm not saying I consolidated them all, but there's a lot of similar themes in those areas. And if you get premarital counseling, you get education first, then you can have that transformation and not walk into that trial. Or at least if you walk into that trial, it's easier to go through if you have the knowledge and you're equipped.
Absolutely. And communication. We talked a lot about that. And you said, how important it is for a couple to learn to communicate, because once you can communicate, you can really go through a lot of trials and tribulations when you know how to talk about it. It's when people keep things secret and don't share, then those problems become insurmountable sometimes because you haven't discussed them.
They do. And it's amazing. Like, you think a second marriage is going to repair it or a third marriage is not, the divorce rate's going to go up. So if you understand faith and have a relationship with Christ, then also understand each other, the average divorce rate is only 15 to 35%. So the more you equip and the more you understand, the better you are in your marriage.
No, absolutely. Okay. So on a pleasant note here, I want to find out, what is the favorite part of your book that you wrote? Do you have a favorite section at all?
I would say no specifically. I'm excited when I turn the light bulbs on, when I teach them about communication. I know it brings a lot of light when people learn, like, hey, a sexual personality style. So that's probably going to be my favorite promo video. We're actually, spoiler alert, that we'll go over and we'll use a bedroom scene, in a sense, clean, of course, to go over and to show how sexuality and personality styles that.
Yeah. No, I was really curious about that part, actually. So that you would say that's your favorite part of the book?
Yeah, I would say chapter 2 and chapter 9. That's why I gleaned up those two.
But we have to read 1 through. How many chapters are there?
There's only 12 chapters.
12, okay.
We do the standard 12 chapters.
We'll read between the sheets. We'll read all 1 through 12.
Yeah, hopefully so. Don't just skip to chapter 9, because then it's only going to be part of it.
Right. Okay. And then I guess, something that's really important. We want to find out, how do we tell people how to find you? How can they buy your book?
Well, first off, the best place to find it is on my Facebook page, Learn and Live, that you're on right now.
Oh, hi.
And also you can find me under Daniel Faust on Facebook. I'm the one with me and my wife in the photo, and then there's 4 crazy kids up front. So yes, we have 4. So it'd be fruitful and multiply.
How do you spell your last name so they can find you?
It's F as in Frank, A as in Alpha, U as in Uniform, S as in Sierra, and T as in Tango.
Military.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Okay, so Daniel Faust, and then your book is Leave No Marriage Behind. And so are you doing pre-sales of any sort?
We're doing pre-sales right now. It's $20 with shipping, autograph, and you get chapter 9 under the sheets, a raw, unedited audio file.
Okay.
That will go over and go from there. And then from there, each month we're going to do a different special, and we're going to add from there. So the more purchases we can get, that means the more we can go over and give. So our goal is like 300 by the end of the month. So if you see this video before then, awesome. This video, yes, you're definitely seeing. So end of the month, 300 is our goal. We're still going to get the book out to you, but if you want great gifts and maximize your purchase, go over and purchase now.
Yep, sounds good. I feel like we're on a marathon, a telemarathon. Okay, let's sell. All right, well, again, Daniel Faust, thank you so much for being here on Unashamed by Grace and being on Christian Living Radio. Go buy his book, Leave No Marriage Behind. Go to his Facebook page, Daniel Faust. Sign up. This book is so important. Marriages are falling apart, and we have someone here, well, both of our ministries, but someone here who cares about saving marriages. So again, thank you. for you for
Thank
being
you.
here today.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thanks again for all the Facebook Live and all the recordings that we have going on. And always listen to Christian Living Radio. The Unashamed by Grace show is on Monday and Friday at 9 a.m. every week. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Everybody that's out there, you know what to do. Make sure that you follow Christian Living Radio. That's where it's at.
Shout out to Christian Living Radio. Excited to be here with my brother. God is doing incredible things, man. Stay tuned.
It's Deborah Joy Winans, and you are watching Christian Living Radio. Hey, it's Tasha Page Lockhart, and you're watching Christian Living Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Kirk Franklin. You're checking out Christian Living Radio.
Christian Living Radio brings you the latest in live performances, interviews, testimonies, sermons, classes, music, and more. We provide platforms for both established and up-and-coming artists with a wide variety of music and live videos. On Christian Living Radio, artists can share their testimonies worldwide with our national and international audiences. For more information, check us out at www.christianlivingradio.com. Don't forget to like us and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you and God bless.